Welcome back guys, you are watching Rising to Zera, and in this video we are going to see nested for loop in Java. So for this guys there will be different patterns which we are going to practice in upcoming videos as well, and also in this video. So we are going to see how this works. So first thing, you are able to see on the screen that we are having stars, like totally stars. We are having 3 by 3, you can just see. So there are 3 rows, 3 columns in this star pattern. So how we can print this star pattern using nested for loop? So we are going to see in this video. And also there will be different star patterns which comes under nested for loop. So we are going to see them all. After seeing some star patterns, you will be building your own logic. You are able to write down the code for any of the pattern. So at the top, these are nothing but they are columns, and you are able to see these are rows. So first step, you are able to see that there are 3 stars in each row. We will just say n is equal to 3, because if you see there is 3 by 3 star pattern, 3 by 3 star pattern. Okay, so we'll say int n is equal to 3. Now if I just wanted to print this star, so what we can just say, int I is equal to, it is going to start from 1 and it should be less than or it should be equal to n. We are going to say that means equal to 3, and we are going to just increment it. After that we are going to print here. So here we are going to print all the stars, so we can just say star star star. Okay, so there are 3 stars which are been printed, and if I'm going to run this to move to the next line, I'm just going to paste it and I'm going to execute it. So what is going to happen, you are going to get this same pattern over here. This is the brute force approach. So what is going to happen, I value is 1 and I is less than n. Okay, so this will be printed. These things are going to be printed on the same line, and then we're going to move to the next line. Then the I value is going to be 2 and I is again less than n, then it is going to be printed. Then again next line, then I is going to be 3 and I is equal to n, then these 3 stars are going to be printed. And then moving to the next line, I is going to update to 4, it is going to stop because the condition is going to be false. Okay, so this thing happened. Instead of using this println, I think if we are going to, instead of using this println, you can directly write here println, and if I'm going to run it, it is going to work similarly. So there are no issues. For example, the n value is equal to 4. So how it will be printed? So dynamically it should be printed. Okay, if I'm going to increase the size of n, it should be printing for me. So how we can do this? So here there will be stars. Okay, so okay, instead of doing this, I can do like this. So if my value of n is going to be 4 or it is going to be 5, so for this it should be printed dynamically. So if you see, for 4 this will be in this way. If there is 5, there will be one more 5 line. Okay, this will be updated. So for this, what we can do, okay, for right now I'm just going to remove this n is equal to 4. We are going to try to make it for 3, and I'm just going to remove this output as well. What can be the output that way? So first thing which we understand here, that for making this, we are going to see that how we can just print these 3 stars. Okay, so first thing which we are going to do here, that how we can print these 3 stars, that means the outer loop. Okay, so this is an outer loop, and for this, how we can do, I should be equal to 1, I should be less than equal to n, and I should be plus plus. That means it will be printing. So here we are going to have only 1 star, and if I'm going to execute this, what is going to happen, you can just see these 3 stars are going to be printed at the outer side. If I'm going to make it 4, so it should be printing 4 for me. So let me just run this. So you can just see that 4 stars are being printed. If I am going to increase the n value to 5, it is going to print 5 rows. If it is going to be 6, it is going to be printed 6 rows. So mostly it is done. Now we need to print how many n value is there. We need to print that many of stars on the particular row. So inside for loop, we need one more for loop, and we'll just have the variable, different variable we are going to use here. Okay, we are not going to use the I variable. You can take any variable name. And if you see on the particular row, it is starting from 1 and it is ending at 3. So what we can just say, so starting point is 1 and j should be less than equal to n, and j should be plus plus. We are going to say system dot out dot print. Okay, we need to print on the same line, so we are going to say print, and we are just going to make here semicolon. I'm just going to copy it. After completion of this, here at this point, after printing all the stars on the same line, we need to move to the next line. So I'm just going to say print ln, and I'm just going to delete this. Okay, inside that I'm going to remove, and after executing this, the stars are going to be printed Now here the spelling error is there. So alt system, and I'm going to run it. So you are able to see for the 4 it is been printed, 4 by 4 stars are been printed. If I am going to make it 3, then it will be printing for 3. And you are able to see, if I'm going to make it, for example, let's make it 10. So what will happen, 10 by 10 star pattern is been printed. Now we are going to dry run it for 3, okay, in a proper way, that how the code is working over here. So what is happening, we'll just move to the row number 1. So this is row number 1, and for row number 1, what is going to happen, I is equal to 1, I is less than n, okay, because the 3 value, n is 3 and I is 1, so I is less than n. So what is going to happen, we are going to move inside this loop. That means we are currently on the row number 1. Moving inside this loop, if you see, j value is going to be 1. Okay, j value, that means it is going to be the column number. And when the j value is 1, we are able to see that j is less than n. So 1 star is been printed. Okay, so what will happen, system.out.println, 1 star is been printed on the row number 1. Okay, now the j value is going to be updated from 1 to 2. Okay, and again this j is less than n, second star is going to be printed. Then again j value is updated to 3, and again j is not less but it is equal to n, so 1 star is going to be printed. So here one more star is going to be printed. After doing this, the j value is going to be 4, and if you see, the condition is going to be false. When this condition is going to be false, this for loop is going to stop, and we are going to come at this 20 line. Okay, and we are going to move to the next line. So we are going to move at this row number 2. All right. Now coming to the next row, if you see, I value is going to be updated to 2. That means we are going to come at this row. J is going to be 1. That means j is less than n. Then j is going to update to 2, update to 3. That j is equal to n. Then again coming to the next line, what will happen, r is going to be our row number 3. We are going to come at 3. That means I is going to be updated to 3. Again we are finding that j is going to be equal to 1. Then j is going to be 2, then it will, now the I value is going to update to 4, and this condition is going to get false. So we are going to come outside this loop, and this loop is going to be stopped. So here the trick is, we are going to have the outer loop, and outer loop is going to print just the row. The inner loop is going to tell you how many stars we are going to print on that particular row. All right, so for this we are going to use nested for loop. So nested for loop is nothing but we are having for loop inside for. So you might have a question that where we can use this nested for loop. We are able to use it inside star patterns. In DSA we use it in different algorithms for sorting, and also in 2D arrays we are going to use this concept. So it is really essential to understand the nested for each loop. So for this, if you are new to this channel, please get subscribed, and your support is really essential for me. And also you will get the notes and source code inside description. Thank you guys for watching this video.